Hey there, healthy and safe community section. It is Dr. T, back by popular demand. And today I've got a doozy of a recipe for you. Today we are making a semi-homemade lunch of stir-fry. And we are going to be utilizing some pre-packaged ramen noodles. We know that those are the favorite of every poor college kid out there. And we're going to use a variety of fresh vegetables to pump this up and some fresh shrimp. But of course, as always, you can substitute whatever vegetables you like and whatever protein you like, or have no protein at all. And then we'll be finishing it off with a little bit of traditional soy sauce and oyster sauce. So get ready, we're gonna get cooking. First off, we gotta chop up our vegetables. Now I'm starting off with some red pepper here. Again, whichever vegetables you like, but the key for a stir fry is to cut them into uniform pieces and to cut them into pieces that are small enough to be picked up easily with chopsticks or a fork if you don't want to use chopsticks. So here we're just cutting up this red pepper and we're gonna cut this into thin strips that will cook evenly and quickly. Remember, we are going to be cooking at high heat. We're gonna get our pan ripping hot. So we want to make sure that all of our pieces are the same size so everything cooks at the same rate. We don't want to overcook some of our vegetables and undercook others. We're just going to do the same thing with our onion here. Get this prepared. I like to slice mine in half, and then I like to cut mine into half moon type shapes. So I'm just going to cut off each end, both the root end and the other end. If I were dicing this, I would be cutting this differently, but I do, again, want to have pieces that are going to be somewhat similar in size to my red peppers. So just go ahead and slice them down into these nice half-round, half-moon shapes. But again, if you are using different vegetables, you don't have to use onions or peppers. You can use broccoli, cauliflower, whatever you like. And here is the star of the show. These ramen noodles are terrible for you. They are unhealthy. They are full of salt. Well, at least the included packet is full of salt. Look at this thing. That is all salt, so throw it out. We don't need it. But we'll use these noodles. And I'm just going to cook them in a little bit of water here. Throw it in the microwave. 2 minutes. We want to undercook these because we want them al dente because they're going to continue to cook as we continue on with our stir fry process, and we don't want them to get all mushy. So let's get our pan ripping hot. You can see I'm using a infrared thermometer to make sure it's hot enough. And then with a little bit of oil in the pan, I'm going to get these mushrooms in here. These mushrooms, I'm getting these started first just because mushrooms tend to take just a little bit longer to cook because they do have a very high moisture content, and so to get them brown just takes a couple extra minutes. And I am adding a fair amount of canola oil. I'm just using a very neutral flavored oil because these mushrooms are going to absorb that oil pretty readily. And don't forget to season. We don't want to use too much salt here for seasoning because we're going to be adding salty sauces, but you still need to season your vegetables as you go along. So our mushrooms are nice and brown, and so we're going to throw in the rest of our veggies here and get them going. And at this point, it really is not going to take very long. Here's our shrimp. And shrimp does not take long to cook at all, and you do not want to overcook the shrimp. Overcooked shrimp is rubbery and tough and kind of gross, so this only takes a couple minutes on each side. You can see here I'm seasoning with a little bit more salt and some white pepper, just a couple pinches of that, and this is just going to take a couple minutes. You know your shrimp is done when it starts to turn opaque. That's what you're looking for, just for that color to turn from translucent to opaque. And if your shrimp is kind of that, funky pink shrimp color, you've probably taken it a little too far. You need to take it off the heat before it gets super white and pink. You just want to get the translucence just to be gone. As you can see here, these shrimp are just about done already. They're probably pretty much done on this side. We'll start flipping them over. Yep, there you go. You can see it's just started to turn opaque. And these are kind of medium, largest type size shrimp. If you're using smaller shrimp, this is definitely going to go faster. Just make sure that if you're using frozen shrimp like I am, that you make sure you thaw these out under some cool running water before you throw them in. Yeah, just about done here. And let's throw in those noodles. These noodles can get a little sticky once you take them out and drain the water off. So just break them up a little bit. Now I'm going to add my sauce, a few shakes of soy sauce. I'm using mushroom flavored soy sauce, lots of umami flavor there, and a little bit of oyster sauce. Now, like I said, you can use whatever sauces you like. You don't have to be limited to these two, but these are kind of more traditional flavors. And they're readily available at most grocery stores, so you shouldn't have a hard time finding these. But I'm also going to add a little bit of chili garlic paste here. I like a little bit of heat. This provides a little bit of heat and a little bit of garlic. Just spices it up just a little bit. You can throw some chili crunch in here. You could throw a little bit of hoisin sauce in here. If you like teriyaki, just go for it. Just be aware that these sauces tend to have a lot of sodium, so use it sparingly. And some of them, like hoisin, do have a lot of sugar in them as well. So be aware of that. We don't want to overload this with too much salt or sugar. Now we're just mixing all the flavors together, making sure that everything is up to temperature as those noodles have kind of cooled off as they've been sitting there. But it just takes a minute, maybe two, just to get everything incorporated and mixed around. And yeah, this is pretty much done, folks. If you've pre-prepared your vegetables, you can have this done in less than 5 minutes, really. It takes 2 minutes to cook those noodles, and once you get the pan up to heat, it really only takes 3-4 minutes and you're done. And there it is, folks. We're all done. I just took some green onion, cut it on the bias, and threw it on top here for a little visual appeal. And again, thank you, Healthy and Safe Communities section and the Fun to Be Well committee for inviting me to do this once again for you. And I hope you stay safe and well. Thank you.